Hi, I'm Andrew, the Young Adult and Media Librarian at North Brunswick Public Library. And I'm going to show you some of the new fantasy and horror books coming in or around July. If you want to, if you enjoy going to other worlds or else seeing our world in a different point of view, these books should be fun for you. First up, we have a book in the trilogy of Simon Snow, Rainbow Rowell's Any Way the Wind Blows. Right? Do you know the story behind Simon Snow? How in the book Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, the character came up with her own books about a fictional character that was very popular, and that's where we get the Simon Snow books from. So Simon, Baz, Penelope, and Agatha return to England, back to the Watford School of Magics, and back to their families for a final adventure. Blade of Secrets by Tricia Levenseller. By the way, these descriptions are from the publisher, or a representative of the publisher. And when you look these up in our online catalog, these will typically be the description that you see. Blade of Secrets by Tricia Levenseller. In the first book in Tricia Levenseller's exciting new YA fantasy duology, a teenage blacksmith with social anxiety is forced to go on the run to protect the world from the most powerful magical sword she's ever made. Coldhearted by Serena Valentino. And this is from a Disney series called Villains that looks at the lives of the villains in the Disney movies, and uncover some things that you may not have known about them, and maybe make them into a more interesting characters, more well-rounded characters. Lady Tremaine, widowed and raising two headstrong girls alone, finds herself falling for a dashing knight from a far-off land who was looking for a stepmother for his own young daughter. But stepmothers in the many kingdoms never tend to fare well, and Lady Tremaine may be destined for a not so happily ever after. So now we're looking at the life of Cinderella's stepmother. We were told that she's a wicked stepmother. Maybe there's more to her than meets the eye. All right, and here's one for you zombie lovers. Eat Your Heart Out by Kelly Divas. Six disgruntled teens are forced to spend their winter break at Fat Camp during Flagstaff, Arizona's worst blizzard in a century, only to find that Camp Featherlight is even worse than expected because it is crawling with genetically modified monsters. Here's a book for people who like horror with a strong dose of humor to it, or else humor books with a strong dose of horror to it. Fire with Fire by Destiny Soria. Raised to kill dragons along with her sister, Donnie Rivera unexpectedly forges a rare and magical bond with one who makes her question everything she thought she knew about dragons, which pits her against her sister. So you might be aware that the theme for summer reading in 2021 is Tales and Tales, right? Tales, Tails, and Tales, Tales, right? So what better for that than a story of a dragon? First Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And this is a new series. The description that the publisher gives us is pretty long, so I'm going to read a shortened version of it. If you're curious, you could just look at the description on the online catalog, which you can get to from northbrunswicklibrary.org. Captivating and action-packed, From Blood and Ash is a sexy, addictive, and unexpected fantasy, perfect for fans of Sarah J. Maas and Laura Thalassa, a maiden chosen from birth to usher in a new era. Poppy's life has never been her own. The life of the maiden is solitary. Waiting for the day of her ascension, she would rather be with the guards, fighting back the evil that took her family, than preparing to be found worthy by the gods. But the choice has never been hers. A duty. The entire kingdom's future rests on Poppy's shoulders, something she's not even quite sure she wants for herself. Maggie Stiefvater's the new bestseller, Mr. Impossible. It's the second book in the Dreamer trilogy following Call Down the Hawk, which is also available at the library. Ronan, Hennessy, and Bride are dreamers. Ronan's dreams always seem to end in random destruction, using up the power of the ley lines he cannot even sense. Hennessy makes multiple copies of herself, dreaming them into reality in search of her own fragile identity. And Bride dreams of power and reordering his companions and the world to his own specifications. Their families and duplicates are the collateral damage of their dreams, and meanwhile, they are hunted by the moderators, led by Carmen Farouk Lane, and the visionary Lalandra, determined to destroy the dreamers and save the world. My Hero Academia. This is an ongoing manga series. So we ordered issues 22 and 23. What would the world be like if 80% of the population manifested superpowers called quirks? Heroes and villains would be battling it out everywhere. Being a hero would mean learning to use your power, but where would you go to study? The Hero Academy, of course. But what would you do if you were one of the 20% who were born quirkless? Now, the second and third books in the Shadow of the Fox series. Wait, the first one is simply called Shadow of the Fox. And yes, we already have those. These are the second and the third ones coming in. Kitsune shapeshifter Yumiko has a new enemy, the escaped demon Hakemono, who needs a scroll to break the curse of the Kamakuroshi sword, and he possesses Caged Tatsumi of the Shadow Clan to help him get it. All right, so this being about Kitsune, or a fox shapeshifter, makes this another one appropriate for Tales and Tales. Storm from the East, a Glass Alliance novel by Joanna Hathaway. While the Sapphire schemes to depose the last royal king in the South, Aurelia works with local journalists to inflame anti-Sapphire sentiment. Determined to save the kingdom, Athan has been ordered to destroy. So those are some of the new fantasy and horror books coming your way. You can place a hold on them either by visiting our website, northbrunswicklibrary.org, or by calling us. Or you could stop by the library because we have more expanded hours, and you check our website to see what the hours are now. But northbrunswicklibrary.org will have the hours for that as well. And anyways, have you read these, or are there any other fantasy series you'd like us to invest in, or for me to discuss in one of these videos? Be happy to hear from you. I'm easy to reach, agerber at northbrunswicklibrary.org, or you can see me when I'm at the library. I'd love to hear from you, and happy reading.